Hey there. Anybody who knows me knows I'm always excited to talk birth, and we're going to do just that today. It's not always easy to find a quiet spot in my home, so today we're talking from my daughter's bedroom. Let's get it started. Somehow, over the years, we've come to believe that birth has to be a certain way. We believe certain things can or can't happen, will or won't happen, should or shouldn't happen. As a doula, I know that's just not the case. While there are many similarities in birth, there are many differences as well. In this series, I hope to bring light to those differences and similarities in an attempt to help people learn from past experiences, think positively about future experiences, and broaden the dream they have for their own birth experience. All right, so today we get to meet Kiana. She and her partner Daryl welcomed young Prince Jordan Nasir Slade into the world. So Kiana, welcome.
Hi, Tashana. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor.
I really appreciate you for being here with us. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am 24 years old. My family moved here from Charlotte, North Carolina, to have our baby closer to family and to, by the grace of God, have you as our doula. My main activities pre-baby were to relax, have a good time. I worked in a club, like a nightclub before, and after I got pregnant, I realized that I need to really relax. So I stopped doing that. My passions are doing hair. I'm a hairstylist, and I did that for a long time before getting pregnant also. So I'm just really excited to be here and excited to have shared this experience starting my family with you. I think you encouraged me to call in that moment
I
as well,
did.
because I kind of asked you, I was like, at some point I couldn't even think about what else was going on outside of the contractions.
Yeah.
The steps after that, it was like, even though it didn't happen as quickly as I wanted it to, it happened quick.
I was
But
really happy that when you got to the birth center, you were already at that 5 or 6 centimeter mark, because I knew that that meant we were going to keep moving forward. I didn't know how long, but I knew that meant we were going to keep moving forward.
thank you so much. And I do want to thank you even more for the education that you presented to me during actual delivery. When things start happening and transitioning, I felt more in tune with what was going on because of our conversations, and I'm so grateful for that.
Well, I'm glad that you say that, because I was listening in your story and I was going to ask you what makes you, you said that you genuinely feel, wish that everyone would have this same experience, especially new families. So I was just about to ask you, what is it that makes you wish this, especially for new families?
So yeah, it's that piece right there. I mean, just knowing what to expect, even when you don't know what to expect. When you have an idea of what to expect, you can mentally let go some of what we call fear,
Mm-hmm.
and it can put you in a more relaxing state. So when you have an idea of what's going on and you're well educated on the situation, it gives us the ability to be able to have a successful birth. And all births are different. You can have that education and it feels successful to you, but for a different reason, you know? So, but I definitely think that having a doula is essential. That enhanced the experience for us too. So I'm grateful.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I was listening to your, when you, the first couple of days at home, and um, making that adjustment and realizing that, you were feeling good for those first couple of days. So you were wanting to, keep on with regular life. And then I can just add taking care of this newborn baby into my regular routine. And that kind of, you're like, that kind of caught up with you. So tell us about what things helped you through that time, and how you kind of made it through.
So having a natural birth and having a water birth, it definitely shocks your body into thinking, like, once you get the baby out, once you go through the laboring process, you feel completely different, especially if you're laboring for so long. It's almost like you've healed instantly, and you really feel like Superwoman afterwards.
As you should.
Yes, as you should. You definitely should. Especially after day one, when I first got home, my mom said, "You're walking?" I came in walking, holding the baby. It was like, she was like, "I can't believe you're doing this." She said, "I was slouched over for at least 3 days." And I just felt so good. But by day 2, after doing a bundle of laundry, which I totally shouldn't have, there's so many things that they tell you not to do. But after you've been in labor for so long, you're so out of it and tired that it goes in one and comes out the other. You were telling me, girl, you had an organ the size of a dinner plate come out of you, as well as a 9-pound baby. So
Yeah,
you need to
it's not.
relax.
You
Like,
need to
sit
sit
down
down.
for 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, yeah. And so, less is more, especially after birth. You just,
Yeah.
just sit down, enjoy your baby, change a diaper, but let all the rest of the stuff, it will still be waiting for you, right? When when you do get back up and moving, nothing, your laundry did not disappear. It was still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because if you don't listen to that less is more piece, your body can really feel like, you're sick. I thought I was coming down with something. And then as soon as I got some rest and I rested consistently, I started to feel like myself again. It's like night and day.
Awesome. Well, I have a few other questions for you that we'll go through. What was your favorite thing about this birth?
My favorite thing about this birth is that I can look back on it. You were very helpful. You took amazing pictures. And there's times that I go through the camera roll and look at the pictures and I'm like, wow, we really had a water birth. And so the fact that I can look back on it because of you, you stood by our side the entire time. Just having the support of your partner is amazing, but to have that additional support by someone that's genuine and, really wants to make this the best birthing experience for you, as you guys have discussed. I mean, you talked it for us, seriously, and you being there and being, everything was just so perfect and amazing. So that's my favorite part about this birth, that we can look back on it and tell him and show him, really show him that he was born in the water. We have it from A to Z.
Awesome. I'm not a photographer, but I have been known to flood a camera roll with pictures. So you probably have to go in and delete a few, but I try to make sure to get the moment. Okay. So what surprised you the most?
When I realized that I had been laboring as long as I had been, and when he got in, when I started pushing around 9:30 p.m., and he finally arrived around 9:47 p.m., that was very surprising because I was on YouTubeUniversity.com looking at all the birthing videos. Some women had pushed the baby out in one push. And again, these videos are chopped up. So I
Right.
don't know how long they were there for, but I'm watching 5 to 10 minute videos. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be, oh, she's telling me I'm in active labor. Like, this is going to go by so quick. And then when you count down the time, a couple hours more, and we would have been laboring and in delivery probably for about 2 days.
Yep.
If it had gone on any longer, 2 full days. So that is very surprising, like how long it can take and how different it is for each mother.
Okay. So next question. Was there anything you did you consider unique or specific for you or your birth?
That is a really good question. I think that we did things as a family, Daryl and I, the way we did the active labor process. But instead of, just being in pain with the contractions and just trying to sit there and going back and forth to the birthing center to see if it's time. Per the advice of you, we really considered like getting some last minute things done, um, going out, cooking a meal, which we contracted the whole way through. So there was a lot of pause breaks. So it didn't come out as tasty as we would have liked it to. But that was pretty unique. And that's something that we're going to look back on like, oh, we made this dish right before he got in. And when we got to the birthing center, it was such a relaxed environment that they allowed us to sage the room before we got there. And you had shown Daryl some techniques before we even got into the birth center and we had our meeting, massaging techniques to help induce labor, but to also kind of take my mind off of what was going on. And that was some amazing stuff. And it really, I feel like, helped us to connect a little bit more before the baby got here. So that was really beautiful. Yeah, I think definitely making that dish and the massaging is also beautiful.
I love it. And I love that you allowed those early moments for Daryl to be offering you support, to have been more than just come give me a massage because I'm hurting, but it was an opportunity for you guys to really connect in that earlier phase. That's really beautiful. I love that. And I remember the stage. I remember walking in going like, oh, this is different. So
Yeah.
that was really special that you were in a birth environment that was open to you kind of cleansing that space before you all entered in. So the space was clear for you all to experience your birth the way that you wanted to. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So was there anything that you wish that you would have done differently?
I don't think so. I think everything happened so perfect the way it should have been. The one thing that I probably would have tweaked was to get here sooner, to meet you sooner. I think I would have done that differently, maybe prepared better to come out here sooner, to maybe get acquainted with everyone a little bit more before having the baby. But it really worked out. It really worked out. So, I mean, that probably would be the smallest feature I would have tweaked. It wouldn't have happened so beautifully if I, admitted that I wanted to change anything. So I'm
Right.
really happy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for sharing all that with us. So, you know that this series is the Every Birth Is series. And so I want to ask everyone that question. How would you complete the sentence, this birth was, with one word or some short phrase?
Right. Sometimes one word can be tricky. But this birth for me, and I hope I can speak for my entire family, was love.
Mm.
Surrounded by a lot of love. When he got here beforehand, he was surrounded by a lot of love. It was just, this birth was genuinely love.
I love it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, Kiana, thank you so very much for taking the time to share your experience with us today. I know that it will encourage future mothers to kind of see their pregnancy in a positive light, to realize that even though each birth is different, there are lots of similarities and they have the ability to create their own path. You definitely decided to create your own path. So I appreciate you for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much, Tashana, and thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely. All right, guys, thank you all for joining us. I hope that you really enjoyed our talk and were inspired by it. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can hear future stories on this Every Birth Is series. If you or someone you know would like to share your birth story with us, please do reach out. I'll make sure to put contact information for us in the description box below. We'd love to connect. So remember, you were created for this moment, so make the most of it. Love and blessings. See you next time.